Namaskar. Hello and welcome to this special broadcast on Sansad TV. I am Namrata Singh. The Earth's surface temperature has increased by 1 degree Celsius since the 1800s. This increase has largely been attributed to greenhouse gas emissions on account of human activity. The World Meteorological Organization's latest report highlights record-breaking rise in global temperatures, ocean heat levels, and unprecedented rise in sea level during 2023. This emphasizes the urgent need to protect our environment for future generations. April 22nd is annually observed as International Earth Day across the world. Various events are held to raise awareness and inspire action on environmental issues. On the show today, we understand the significance of Earth Day, its history, and how each one of us can play an instrumental part in conserving and protecting our Earth.
The third rock, the blue marble, Earth, our home. We are all connected to and by Earth, the trees and plants that give us the oxygen we breathe, snow-capped mountains that provide water to drink, or the awe-inspiring geophysical forces that shape the land beneath our feet. To celebrate our Mother Earth, we observe Earth Day every year on 22nd of April. This year will mark the 54th Earth Day celebrated across the world. Earth Day is an international day devoted to our planet. It's a day dedicated to raising awareness about environmental issues and inspiring people to take action to protect the planet. This year's Earth Day theme, Planet versus Plastics, emphasizes the pressing need to address the threat plastic usage poses to human health and the environment. It highlights the call for a 60% reduction in global plastic production by 2040. It advocates for raising awareness about the health risks associated with plastic usage, rapid phasing out of all single-use plastics, and immediate push for a robust UN Treaty on Plastic Pollution. Every year on this day, around 1 billion people around the world take action to raise awareness of the climate crisis and bring about behavioral change to protect the environment. Participation on Earth Day can take many forms, including small home or classroom projects like planting a herb garden or picking up litter. People also volunteer to plant trees, join other ecological endeavors, or raise public awareness about climate change and environmental degradation. Earth Day campaigns and projects aim to increase environmental literacy and bring together like-minded people or groups to address issues such as deforestation, biodiversity loss, and other challenges. The first Earth Day was celebrated in 1970. It has since become a global event observed in over 193 countries. As the largest civic event on the planet, Earth Day traces its roots to the first environmental movement. In 1969, the former US Senator from Wisconsin, who is also considered one of the pioneers of the modern environmental movement, proposed the idea for Earth Day, inspired by the anti-Vietnam War teach-ins on college campuses across the United States. The environmental impact of the post-war consumer boom was beginning to be felt around that time. Oil spills, factory pollution, and other ecological threats were on the rise, with little, if any, legislation in place to prevent them. Concerned about increasing levels of unchecked destruction to the environment, he asked citizens to join a grassroots demonstration to raise awareness about air pollution, the effects of pesticides, and toxic drinking water. On 22nd April 1970, millions of people took to the streets of cities and towns across America in mass protests over increasing damage to the planet and its resources. The protests brought together 20 million Americans, 10% of the US population at the time, to demonstrate and voice their demands for sustainable change. Experts call it the birth of the modern environmental movement. Since 1970, Earth Day celebrations have grown in magnitude. 20 years on, Earth Day went global in 1990, mobilizing 200 million people in 141 countries and bringing environmental issues onto the world stage, according to the Earth Day Network, a non-profit organization that coordinates Earth Day activities. Earth Day 1990 gave a huge boost to recycling efforts worldwide and paved the way for the 1992 UN Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro. It also prompted President Bill Clinton to award Senator Nelson the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest honor given to civilians in the United States, for his role as founder of the Earth Day. In 2000, Earth Day focused on clean energy and involved hundreds of millions of people in 184 countries and 5,000 environmental groups. 2010 was a challenging year for the environmental community, with world leaders divided over their opinion on the issue of climate change. An estimated 20,000 partners acted on climate change and other environmental issues through climate rallies. In 2016, the UN chose Earth Day for the historic Paris Agreement on climate change to be signed into force. Earth Day is described as a day of positive action that affects changes in human behavior towards the environment and fosters policy changes. On this day, events are held across the world to demonstrate support for environment protection. The ongoing effort to protect the environment is gaining momentum every day, emphasizing the increasing urgency in light of the growing impacts of climate change. It is crucial for every individual to recognize the reality of climate change. Indeed, every day should be treated as Earth Day.
Since the 1970, April 22nd has served as a day to highlight environmental awareness and action. This year, with the theme Planet versus Plastics, Earth Day aims to end plastic consumption and reduce production by 60% by 2040. It's time to rethink how we produce, consume, and dispose of plastics.
Plastics, once a marvel of modern innovation, now poses a dual threat both to our planet and to human health on a global mega scale comparable to climate change. Its ubiquitous presence in our environment poses a grave challenge with dire consequences for ecosystems, livelihoods, and public well-being. Every day, our oceans, rivers, and lakes are inundated with plastic waste, the equivalent of 2,000 garbage trucks. According to the United Nations Environment Programme, we generate a staggering 400 million metric tons of plastic annually, with half of it single-use purpose. Around the world, over 1 million plastic bottles are purchased every minute, while up to 5 trillion plastic bags are used worldwide every year. In total, half of all plastic produced is designed for single use, used just once and then discarded. Nearly 36% of all plastic is used in packaging, including single-use food and beverage containers, 85% of which ends up in landfills. The relentless growth in plastic production is expected to reach 1,100 million metric tons by 2050. Plastics, including microplastics, have become omnipresent in our natural environment. They are becoming part of the Earth's fossil record and a marker of the Anthropocene, our current geological era. But how did we get there? Between the 1950s and 1970s, only a small amount of plastic was produced, and as a result, plastic waste was relatively manageable. Since then, the rate of plastic production has outpaced that of any other industrial material, accelerating rapidly. Plastic waste generation more than tripled between the 1970s and 1990s, mirroring the steep increase in plastic production. The early 2000s witnessed an unprecedented surge in plastic waste, highlighting the urgent need for systematic change. Of the 7 billion tons of plastic waste generated globally to date, less than 10% of it is recycled. Millions of tons of plastic waste either end up polluting the environment or are transported over thousands of kilometers to destinations where they are incinerated or dumped into the ocean. Despite ongoing efforts, it is estimated that between 75 to 195 million metric tons of plastic currently contaminate our oceans. Scientists caution that without significant changes in our approach to producing, using, and disposing of plastic, the volume of plastic waste entering our oceans could nearly triple. In 2016, it ranged from 9 to 14 million tons annually, but projections suggest it could escalate to between 23 and 37 million tons per year by 2040. The durability of plastics and its resistance to breakdown presents a significant challenge to both our environment and health. Plastics, including microplastics, consist of minuscule particles that have the potential to enter our bodies and accumulate in organs, leading to uncertain health consequences. Studies have detected microplastics in human organs, including lungs, livers, spleens, and kidneys, raising concerns about their threat to public health. However, governments play a crucial role in addressing this issue. By eliminating discouraging single-use plastics, promoting innovative designs for recyclable plastics, and ensuring efficient plastic recirculation within the economy. According to the earthday.org, achieving a 60% reduction in plastic pollution by 2040 necessitates widespread public awareness. It is imperative to prioritize the phase-out of single-use plastics by 2030 and invest in innovative technologies to pave the way for a plastic-free future. Individually, we can take proactive steps towards this goal, such as encouraging businesses to eliminate plastic straws and advocating for improved waste management practices in our communities. By embracing initiatives like the Clean Seas Pledge and adopting sustainable habits, each of us can play a crucial role in reducing our plastic footprint and safeguarding the health of our planet.
Earth Day emphasizes the urgent need for action on the global climate crisis. It calls on leaders and businesses to take immediate steps to address global warming. Any action, no matter how significant, that helps reduce environmental impact and promote sustainability contributes to a healthier planet.
The latest State of the Global Climate Report shows a planet on the brink. Fossil fuel pollution is sending climate chaos off the charts. Sirens are blaring across all major indicators. Last year saw record heat, record sea levels, and record ocean surface temperatures.
UN issues red alert on climate change. Time is running out. Sea levels are rising. The Arctic is melting. Coral reefs are dying. Oceans are acidifying. Forests are burning. Rising temperatures fueling environmental degradation, natural disasters, and weather extremes. Climate change is the defining crisis of this era, evolving at a pace that exceeds even our most cautious projections. According to the United Nations, we have 2 years left to prevent a climate catastrophe.
Why the next 2 years are so essential in saving the planet. First, we know the stakes. You've heard me talk about time and time again the shattering heat and massive damage that climate change is causing to our economies, and how there is no room for half measures. Let's take all of that as a given. Second, we are at the start of a race which will determine the biggest winners in a new, clean energy economy. And with the global index of living standards in constant flux, each country's climate responses will be key to whether they rise up the ladder or fall.
As global temperatures continue to rise, the writing on the wall is clear. We are facing a crisis situation. The Earth's average surface temperature has risen about 1 degree Celsius since the late 1800s, with 2023 marking the hottest year on record. According to the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service, in the past 12 months, temperatures have soared to record highs, surpassing the average between 1991 and 2020 by 0.70 degrees Celsius. Although Earth's climate has undergone natural fluctuations throughout its history, the present warming trend is predominantly attributed to human activities since the mid-1800s, resulting in unprecedented rates of change. Scientists concur that human activity stands as the primary catalyst behind escalating greenhouse gas emissions, a trend showing no signs of abating. This human impact extends beyond emissions, as activities like food production and ocean use compound these risks, endangering a significant portion of Earth's diverse species. Carbon dioxide emissions from human activities have surged over 250 times faster than the natural increase observed after the last ice age. The combustion of fossil fuels, among other human activities, emits substantial quantities of carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere, precipitating a swift escalation in temperatures. Beginning in 1950, we commended a relentless increase in CO2 levels that persists to this day. Since 1990 alone, global CO2 emissions have skyrocketed by more than 60%. Failure to promptly curb emissions could lead to a frightful scenario. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, temperatures may surge by 3.2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels by 2100, spelling catastrophic repercussions for all life on Earth, including humanity. Moreover, the World Economic Forum's Global Risks Report 2024 reaffirms the gravity of environmental challenges. It reports that environmental risks dominate half of the top 10 risks projected over the next decade, with extreme weather events, critical shift in Earth's systems, biodiversity loss, and ecosystem collapse ranking as the foremost concerns. One thing is clear: urgent action is needed to mitigate these challenges and safeguard the planet's future. So, who holds the key to saving the world? The answer is each and every person on this planet. Climate change affects every corner of the globe, and its consequences are becoming increasingly dire. It's time for bold collective action to address this urgent issue. In response to the growing awareness of climate change, many countries have committed to the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals adopted in 2015. These goals aim to end poverty, protect the planet, and promote peace and prosperity for all by 2030. India, on its part, has reaffirmed its commitment to fighting climate change through initiatives like the International Solar Alliance and the One Sun, One World, One Grid project. The government is proactively encouraging citizens to embrace alternative energy sources through a series of measures. This includes offering tax breaks for electric vehicles, promoting the use of LED lights, distributing free solar lamps, and providing farmers with solar pumps at no cost. Coupled with extensive education campaigns highlighting the benefits of these alternatives, India has risen to become the fourth largest producer and third largest consumer of renewable energy worldwide. India has also launched Mission Life to encourage sustainable lifestyles among its citizens. Additionally, India is an active participant in global initiatives, including the First Movers Coalition, a global coalition of companies leveraging their purchasing influence to decarbonize the world's heavy-emitting industries like steel and cement. Education plays a vital role in addressing climate change, as emphasized in India's 2020 National Education Policy. By reducing emission intensity, increasing renewable energy capacity, and expanding forest cover, India is determined to meet its climate targets, which includes achieving net zero emissions by 2070. Technology, once a contributor to climate change, now offers solutions to reduce emissions. Renewable energy sources are becoming increasingly cost-effective, and electric vehicles are witnessing widespread adoption. While the challenges posed by climate change are significant, they are not unbeatable. By working together, embracing innovation, and fostering international cooperation, we can create a sustainable and secure future for all. Earth today has become a leading light in the fight to combat climate change and nature loss. As we celebrate its 54th anniversary, we must make use of this truly global movement to act as citizens and governments, as consumers and businesses, and as individuals and communities. The survival of our planet may rest upon it.